Okay, so for the second video here, we're going to convert from fractions to decimals, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways to get this. And it really depends. I should say method one and method two. It really depends on really however you want to approach the question. Sometimes certain ways are easier than others. Okay, so one way here is to try to change the denominator. So change the denominator. If I can make the denominator some kind of multiple of denominator of 100, that would probably help me out a lot, just kind of like the other ones that we were doing before. So if I say, look, I'm going to multiply both of these by a certain number. I'm going to multiply by, even let's say by 2 here, make it easier. Multiply by 2. If I multiply both by 2, I get 6 over 10, or I would call this 6 tenths. And if you remember from before, 6 tenths just means it's going to be in the tenths location. So 6 tenths. That's one way of thinking about it. Okay. Another method for that same problem, 3/5. If I multiplied by 20, both the top and bottom by 20, I get 60 over 100. This would be 6 hundredths. And you'll see if I write 6 hundredths, that's 0.60. That's in the hundred spot. It really doesn't matter because both of these are the same value, just like that. Now the second method is if I could just use division, in and out. 3 divided by 5. 5 can't go into 3, so I put a decimal, but it goes into 36 times. And so there's another way I can come up with that. All right, let's take a look at the second one. Now 30, it can't really go into 100 very evenly, so I'm not going to use this method over here. I'm going to go straight to dividing. I'm going to say 5 divided by 30. This doesn't make sense to try to fit it into 100. So I'm going to say, look, it can't go into 5, but it can go into 51 times, which would be 30. I'm sorry, there's a 2, there's a 0, another 0. 3 can go in there 6 times, that's 180. There's another 2, 0, and a 0. I'm going to see that it's going to continue on and on in this fashion. So you would say that this as a decimal would be 0.16 repeating. If you rounded that to 0.17, I would accept that as a correct answer. Let's take a look at this next one. Now, this one can't go up into 100, but I could try to divide actually this by 2, but this is not going to work out. So why don't I multiply by 5? Let's make it into 1,000. If I multiply by 5, I get 45 over 1,000. You would say that that is 45 thousandths. 45 thousandths, hundreds, tenths, hundreds, thousandths, 45 thousandths, and that would be my answer there. Another way I could do that same problem is I go ahead and do the long division here. Can't go into 90, but it can go into 900 4 times. Notice that's my first digit there. That's 800. 100, move one more, it goes in 5 times. So I end up with the same exact answers I did over here. So 2 different methods. Last one here. This one would probably be better not to do divide, but to go ahead and multiply both of these by 4. If I multiply by 4, I get 28 over 100. You would say that's 28 hundredths. And so I would say the hundred spot, tenths, hundredths, 28 hundredths would be just right there. But you can also divide it. You can say 7 divided by 25. It doesn't go into 7, but it goes into 72 times. Notice there's that 2. I get 50 minus that. I get 2, 0, 0. 25 goes into 200 8 times. And there's my answer. So both are the same way. I hope this really helped you out converting fractions into decimals. There's different methods you can use to get there. But hopefully that did help you out. Be ready with questions tomorrow.